urban beekeeping. I wanted to make a little video of our apiary setup and how I've gone about with neighbours. Now, you can't choose your neighbours. Fortunately for us, we've got very, very good neighbours. We're in the country, they're down to earth, and they like the bees. But I don't let the bees really interact with the neighbours. I've built the apiary over time and allowed the bees to move and operate without disturbing anyone. And I'll show you this in a moment. Here in the UK, when we're in a built-up area, our gardens are quite close. And when you've got a few hives in the garden, it can be quite a lot of noise and a lot of activity. But people don't really see that, and I'll show you how I do that. With a small space, but appropriate, you want your bees to go out and up. You don't want them going through. Now, the way that I've done that is use fencing and shrubs, trees, whatever you have at hand, but you need light to get into the garden as well. Now, our hives are facing east, but it doesn't really benefit the hives because I've got a wall and a tree. So really they get the light when the sun comes around to the south. It's not majorly important because they do get light throughout the day. One of our out apiaries that we had a field, and the bees would leave the hive and they would go out, along and up. And you can't really have that in a built-up area. You want those bees to leave the hive and immediately go up, and I'll show you how I've done that. The bees come out and up. And you can see that we've got these bushes here, the bay tree, and I come in and I cut that back and then I clear the fronts. But I've let all this go wild. So I've used scaffold as netting. Now, when this wall fell down here quite a few years back, the neighbours put in trellis for some reason, don't ask why, so we lost all privacy down here. But the holes were quite large, so spiders' webs and other creatures could set up residence in here and catch the bees. You see, some of the bees would have gone straight through the trellis. So I've put scaffolding net all around. Now, I know that other apiaries use this, and it's great stuff. It's thick, and you can set a perimeter. And I've used it over here as well to cordon it off. So we've made the apiary. So all of this is all enclosed, and the girls can go about their business. So the fence line obviously is east, where they're coming out, which is here, and they come on out and straight up, so they don't interact with anyone and there's no trouble. Hive management is extremely important. Now, obviously you've got to do your inspections when it's swarming season, but when you're in a built-up area, you don't want swarms. I know sometimes it can't be helped, but if you don't have swarms, you don't have a problem. Mainly, I do my hive inspections every week, if the weather permits. You do not want swarms, because once people see a cloud of bees, they're terrified. And same goes for the other side. I've got a bush, fuchsia, and a fence line. They come out of the hives and they've got no other option but to go above the fuchsia, and the fuchsia's bright. So at the back of the hives I've got my pathway and clearings, so I can get there quite easily. But they have to climb to get out. If you are wanting bees in your garden and the neighbours are fairly close to the boundaries, I would recommend having a chat. Just have a talk, explain to them what bees are. You don't have to tell them everything, because some people, they won't understand. But do everything in your power to make sure that those bees won't be affecting the people around you. Obviously the bees will be using their flowers and pollinating and such, you can use that to your advantage. I mean, the gardens around here are glorious because the bees have just gone nuts. So there is benefit in it. And also, the bees do produce gold. Use it.